garden. Today I'm going to show you a few vegetables worth growing just for the flowers. These are leeks, and they flower in these beautiful big clusters of white star-shaped flowers. They flower later in summer into autumn, and they provide an excellent source of nectar for all sorts of pollinators. Butterflies, bees, you name it. Leeks are related to onions, so they have a really nice onion flavor. And what you're after when growing leeks is the bulb. It can be very tall, and the pros will actually bury them really deep. So you get this really incredible tall onion type. Then usually you cut away the darker greens because they're a bit tough. But then you can chop them up in a soup or a stew, or fry them up in a stir fry. They're actually really versatile. Anywhere you can use onion, you can use leeks. And anywhere you can use the leeks, you can use the leek flowers. The flowers are edible, so they have a nice, bright, oniony flavor. I've never been able to grow giant leeks, but I've always enjoyed the flowers. So I'm going to grow these year after year, basically just for the flowers. There's actually one other vegetable that I like just as much as leeks, just for the flowers, and that's chives. Chives are related to onions too. They're actually the smallest member of the onion family. Chives usually flower in spring, but these have bloomed in late summer. They have gorgeous light purple flowers, and if you plant them in rows, you get a really incredible effect. If you want these to flower, you want to plant them in full sun. If you plant them in shade, you're going to get a lot of nice green growth, which is good for culinary purposes. But if you want the flowers, which are also edible and really tasty, then you want to give them as much sun as possible. Another one of my favorite vegetables to grow specifically for the flowers is broccoli. Broccoli has edible leaves. If you can manage to grow nice big florets, those are perfect. I can never grow really large florets, so sometimes I just forget to pick them. It's just really not worth it. But when you let them flower, they have these beautiful buttery yellow flowers, and the bees just love them. I've even seen hummingbirds on these. I didn't really get great florets, so I just let it flower. Mostly for the bees, but I guess the hummingbirds too. Ooh, he's on the basil now. It made me want to grow even more broccoli. If we look down here, the spent flowers produce these pods, and each pod has dozens of seeds. So just letting one of them go to seed will give you enough broccoli to sow your entire garden. You can even eat the flowers on these too. They just taste like broccoli. Anytime you're eating broccoli, you're actually eating the flowers. They just haven't bloomed yet. They usually look like this. I kept that little morning glory on our broccoli, and it actually flowered. How cool is that? I've got flowers growing on my flowers. Oh, I just love it. And this is laissez-faire gardening. Most gardeners would not allow their broccoli to flower in the first place, And they certainly wouldn't allow morning glories to grow up it. But I think it's beautiful. And the pollinators really love it too. Isn't that spectacular? So I think I can spare one of these lower flowers down here. Give it a little taste test. Slightly sweet, very delicate. Chives have one of my favorite edible flowers. They're a whole bunch of little flowers in a big cluster. So when you pull the little florets off, they make an excellent little garnish. They have just a wonderful onion flavor. So they can really go on anything savory. But salads work really great too. They're just a perfect garnish. Leeks are a bit taller and larger, but there are fewer flowers. One little chive cluster can have dozens of flowers, whereas the leeks are more likely to just have one. But when you plant them all over the place, you actually invite bees and pollinators to come down and pollinate your vegetables. I carry on with these marigolds, but these taste just like chive flowers. Beautiful onion flavor. You want to get them before they're too old. They do produce these seed pods. Those flowers are just so beautiful. These would be great on a salad. So if you're looking for a new vegetable to grow, maybe consider leeks, chives, or broccoli. Not only because they're delicious, but they have beautiful flowers. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.